Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope for December 2023, and happy birthday to you. This horoscope is for Sun sign Sagittarius, Moon sign Sagittarius, and Rising sign Sagittarius in that order. Hi Bindi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what the planets are doing this month to look at where they support you and where things are amazing and easy and where some potential problems are. So the point of this is to give you that info so you can navigate more easily and make the best of December. And I have to say, this looks like an amazing month, not only because the sun is in Sagittarius, so your identity, but you've got Mars in Sagittarius, which is drive and ambition, Ceres, which is really the harvest and abundance and the good life, summertime. That's in Sagittarius, the transiting midheaven, your work. And then at the beginning of the month, we've got Mercury, the communication planet in Sagittarius. So you feel strong, you see far in the areas of your work, how I can make this happen for myself. And of course, it's not that hard. I mean, there's an assumption that, of course, this is going to work out, which sounds a certain way, but to me, that approach tends to really pay off, and it really tends to work. If you just have this innate knowing that the situation is going to work out for me, then however you argue it, is it because you felt that way and you intuited that it was going to work, that it ended up working? Or is it because I felt that way and I put that energy on top of whatever I was that did work out? It's really chicken or the egg, but ultimately this is a really good month for you. On the 2nd of December, we have Mercury, the communication planet, going out of your sign of Sagittarius and going into Capricorn in your second house of money, which is a great thing, because Mercury in Capricorn is very strict in terms of what's going to work and what isn't, what is useful and what is not. And the Sun and Mars and Ceres and your midheaven are still in Sagittarius in your first, giving you that great confidence. But now with Mercury and Pluto in Capricorn in your second house of money and income, you're able to take all of that wonderful energy and to translate it into practical actions. So you're operating on the level of, I care about this, I'm motivated, plus, I can actually build the road that I'm going to tread on. It's amazing. On the 5th of December, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity. That goes into Scorpio, and it moves into your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. So this is very interesting, because if you're a Sagittarius who hasn't particularly had any kind of spiritual experience or awakening, or spirituality doesn't interest you, or if you listen to music and it's neither here or there, you don't have an emotional response to it. With Venus in Scorpio, it's very, very intense. It can often be too intense. But for you in your 12th house of spirituality, you will suddenly notice an affinity for the higher realms and things that exist only on a plane that's invisible to us. You'll start to notice that you can actually communicate with that somehow, and you're able to build a relationship. So again, if you've had no interest in spirituality ever, or religion even, or you've experienced tough things that have happened to you via religion, it's a great time to look into that again, because you can have your own spiritual experience or awakening, which is then going to inform you on how you can resolve certain issues that exist in your life and how you can overcome those. So that is very useful for you guys, Sagittarius particularly. On the 6th of December, Neptune, the water planet of dreams and intuition, that goes direct. So it moves forward again, and it moves ahead in your 4th house of your roots and your family. And again, it's a similar theme. So with Venus, which is the lower octave of Neptune, Venus is the personal planet, Neptune is the outer planet. So they're similar. Venus is personal love, Neptune is global love, cosmic love. With Neptune going direct in your 4th, I am now able to find my home. What is it that I want to experience in my family life, or in my romantic partnerships, or my friendships? What's going to make me feel like these relationships are meaningful and solid, and I can rely on the people that are in my life? So it's really a homecoming for you, Sagittarius, which again is so interesting, because you, as the galloping centaur, you never really go home. You set new goals, bullseye in the future, and you're constantly pursuing that. So if your desire, one of your hopes and dreams is, I want to set the target that I create a home for myself, a place where I feel like I belong, whether that's in an actual building that I'm comfortable in, or people around me that make me feel like I'm part of a community. You're able to manifest that for yourself this month. Wow. And you guys are the only sign of the zodiac who are going to experience it like this. So Sagittarians, it's not just their birthday, it's their homecomings. On the 12th of December, we've got a new moon in Sagittarius. So a new moon is when the sun and moon conjunct, the moon goes pitch black, pulls loads of energy in to get ready for its next 28-day cycle. And that happens in your first house of self, next to Mars and Ceres and the transiting midheaven. So you're able to rev your wheels and say, okay, I am going home. I now know exactly how I'm going to do that. And then, what were those cars called? When I was a kid, I had these cars. You pulled them back a little bit and they had a spring in them, and when you let go, they shot off. Let me know in the comments. It's like a kid's toy. And that's what I feel with the new moon. You pull the energy in, you rev it up, and then when you let go and you move forward, you pick your goal. I want to go home in some way. You're really going to find that very, very quickly. And I would say within about a week of this new moon happening, just because you're operating so quickly. But also on the 12th of December, Mercury, the communication planet, goes retrograde until the 24th of December. So when Mercury is retrograde, you're able to look at things differently. It's in your second house of money in Capricorn. How can I work differently? How can I'm sorry to use the cliche, how can I work, so I'm not going to use it. How can I work in a way that is enjoyable for me and rewards me more, rather than just plodding along and doing what I've always been doing? So you have this sort of renewed vigor when it comes to the way you create an income, and where all the doors were closed, they suddenly open and you see other opportunities. So the Mercury retrograde really benefits you. That continues until the 23rd. We also have all the outer planets, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus. They all stay in the sign that they're in at the moment. So there's no big shift. So you have a moment to actually set those goals for yourself, and you're not going to be distracted by a lot of noise. So it's kind of peaceful and quiet for you. On the 23rd then, Mercury retrogrades back into your sign of Sagittarius. It's only retrograde for one more day, and then it stays in your sign of Sagittarius until the 14th of January. So you get like an extra month of Mercury being in your sign. And that's wonderful because next to Mars, it allows you to see far. So someone who is myopic, who's short-sighted, puts the glasses on and suddenly they can see the horizon where everything was just a blur before, right? That's what you're doing. You're able to look at your plans for the future. If they have been blurry, you get this kind of cosmic lens here, and it's like, oh, there are two paths which I can tread. I can see all the milestone on those paths. I'm going to pick path A instead of B because that's going to work better. So you're massively informed, and again, no wonder you're confident and quick then, because you know what's happening. So this is priceless. Good for you, Sagittarius. I love it. On the 26th, we have a full moon in Cancer, and that happens in your 8th house of institutions. And that's interesting because you may feel very charitable around the end of the month, and that's going to be incredibly satisfying. So you've figured it all out. I mean, that's not everything, but you're a lot clearer on what you want and what's happening next than you were at the beginning of the month. And now you want to give back. You may have the desire to volunteer at the animal shelter or to whatever charity you're involved in. It's a really good time for you guys to give back. That kind of balances things out. You've been given so much at the beginning. Now it's time to give back. And that will create even more good things where we kind of put out into the universe, we tend to get back. 30th of December, we have Venus going also into your sign of Sagittarius. And it's in your first house. Venus is love and beauty and creativity. So you've been a car kind of cruising along, and now it becomes a hovercraft, and you leave the road and you cruise on into the sky. It's really beyond. So you reach new heights, you transcend your problems, and you do that with charm and ease and grace. And I'm going to look through my contacts who's a Sagittarius because I want to hang out with you this month. You're going to be a lot of fun. You see what I just did? Like when people are doing well and when they're like on a roll, other people want to be a part of that. So you're going to be very attractive to others. So look into that as well, like who's coming into your life and who wants to be a part of this. It's not just for their own self-interest. It's a person who's ultimately interested in having positive experiences rather than just like focusing on the negative and complaining, right? So that's all really good. And then Jupiter goes direct on the 30th, and it's in Taurus in your 6th house of work next to Uranus. So moving into January now, any decisions you've made about your daily routine, your work, your income, put those into action. January is going to be incredibly satisfying and rewarding. So you've done the work, now it's time to experience it and get something out of it for yourself. Great. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. It looks like an amazing month for you guys. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I draw up your chart. I take your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, there's a process called chart rectification. Get in touch with me regarding that. I can actually work out your time of birth, which is super helpful because the chart changes every 4 minutes, and the more accurate the chart is, the more accurately, well, ideally, hopefully, I can read it and give you answers on any questions you may have, particularly in the areas of personal development, life purpose, career, family, love, health, hopes and dreams, spiritual development, anything at all. So if you would like a personal reading, please do get in touch with me. Have a great December, and I will speak to you soon. And Bindi, thanks. You're welcome, Bindi. Oh, you like it? Thank you. I sorted this all out this morning. It looks a lot better. So thank you for the positive feedback. I'm not much of a decorator or a designer, but I think I did an okay job. So I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Have a great December, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.